Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at the SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Gaim. This is one of the latest in the Shinkocchou Seihou line for their Kamen Rider series that they've just gone through and started renewing them. So here it is, picture of the figure on the front of the box, just his name on the side that says Orange Arms, and then on the back you see some images of him, some poses you can get into, and then how you can swap the arms from banana arms onto him and vice versa. I do have both these guys. I have banana arms, and of course we're looking at Gaim today. And I saw that they're going to release the rest of the group sometime in the future, maybe 2025, 2026. But yeah, so let's take a look at him outside of his packaging. And here he is out of his packaging. I think they did a great job renewing this guy. I didn't pick up the original one. I just wasn't really into Gaim at that time. But I did pick up the renewal just because it looks so good. Like, just the new proportions, it looked great. I mean, the helmet looks awesome. All the orange bits are nicely shiny. I know they showcased before the armor actually comes down on him at, like, I think it's the Tamashii Nations event that they just had or something like that. They showcased it actually just being on his head before he fully transforms, which is kind of cool. I don't know if that's an accessory pack coming or if, I mean, this one doesn't, it has the hinge, but I guess I've never really tried to unhinge all of these pieces. But, I mean, that's just to get out of the way of the articulation. So that'll be cool if they give us that. But yeah, I have no clue. Like, I liked Gaim show-wise, I just wasn't really into the whole fruit suit design. Like the samurai fruit suits. But I had to get this figure to look good. He's got all the designs here. This is all nicely well painted and sculpted. I don't really see a lot of paint blemish. Then the bottom of his feet have the Gaim logo on the bottom, which is always really cool that they pay attention to detail like that. His hands look good. And then he's got the two lock seeds on the side, pineapple and strawberry, which are the next bonus effect parts that are coming out. They should be releasing pretty soon. Accidentally pre-ordered 2 of them. Didn't need to, but you know. His belt actually does the gimmick where you can slice it, which is pretty cool. And then you could take the orange lock seat off if you want. And I believe it comes with the one for when it's closed. And then you have the sword sheath here, which looks good. All right. So yeah, so getting into articulation, Gaim doesn't look up at all, like, because this helmet is in the way. One thing I wish they did was, they've done it before, where they've kind of sculpted this to be like separate pieces, so like when you lift the head up, this actually folds into the helmet piece itself, but maybe that was too much for this guy, and it probably would have ruined the aesthetic. But looking down, it looks down about that much. He can kind of get some side to side, not really. Like, this helmet really does restrict him, so really it's just looking around, to be honest with you. Like, you can get some attitude depending, but it's really, you can't even notice it. Damn it, his lock seed fell off. Okay, there we go. Arms go up really high because these shoulder pads get out of the way. Then you do have a bicep swivel. Oh, and his neck has movement too, but you're never gonna get that because of the helmet. Then he has double jointed elbows, which look good. The wrist is on a ball hinge. And then arching back, goes back about that much. And that quilted pattern continues all the way up in here. And then moving forward, about that much, which is pretty good. It astounds me when Tamashii Nations goes the extra mile for Kamen Riders, but they don't do it for any other line. Like, they don't really care about the gapping and stuff on DBZ, but they do care about it on, these Kamen Riders. They try to make them look as good as possible, which is nice. And be careful when you're crunching him forward, because you will lose the seed and not, notice that you lost it until it's too late. And then if you move his belt pieces out of the way, he can do the full splits, which is good. And this is perfect, no dangly bits whatsoever. This is what I want them to do for Dragon Ball moving forward, but we'll see if they do that. And then kicking forward, he goes about that high. Double jointed knee. I do hate that they didn't put the knee pad on the actual knee. And then thigh swivel here. And then it's also a ball joint. I don't know why you would ever need that articulation, but you have it. And then you do have the foot that goes about that far up, that far down. And he has a great ankle pivot. So yeah, I mean, this guy, you can get him into every pose you want him to. I mean, he has a butterfly joint, but it doesn't do too much. It's like bringing his arm forward. It doesn't go that far forward. So, but yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can get him to do all the poses you want, especially on the back of the box. Anything you want to recreate from the show. You can do his rider kick. It'll all work out. So let's set him aside for a second and take a look at his accessories. Okay, so for his accessories, he comes with a ton of hands. So he comes with this kind of like relaxed, semi-clenchy hand. These are all really nicely sculpted. I really like these. And then he's got 2 fists. The fists come on him in the packaging. I just took them off him and put on something else. He was holding his weapons before. Then he has this semi-gun grip trigger finger hand. Then he has a hand that kind of like is looking like it's holding the barrel of something. You could also use it to like maybe hold the hilt of his sword or something like that. He has another like trigger finger relax grip type hand. And then he has a set of just like actually like relaxed hands. Because on him right now I have one of the kind of relaxed hands and then a trigger finger type hand. And then he comes with his 2 weapons. So he has this like the orange slice sword. If you remember what this thing is called, please let me know in the comments below because I do not remember. Then it has this empty peg in the back. And then he does come with the sword to put the lock seat actually on there. And I can get it out. And then he comes with the actual lock seat itself that's in the closed position. I don't know if they're going to give us the human rider form of him, so you could like have him holding it, but yeah. And then for his final accessory, he comes with a different mask piece. And I believe this is particularly for, let me see. This is for when he's doing, it's either for his banana arms to have this piece, or when you take off his mask. And I have to remember how to do it. Let's see. You take off the back piece, then you can take off the front. So yeah, you can see they're 2 different pieces. And I think this is for banana arms when he wants to use the orange arms instead of him having it. Which is kind of cool. It kind of makes you want to buy both of them just to do the form change thing. It's kind of like if you like O's and you only have one form, but you want to, you know, mix and match forms. You can totally do that. Also, you could just take off this armor once you remove the head. Like, this is what the blank body looks like. Which is actually kind of cool. He doesn't look bad. And it has peg holes up here, so you know to, like, tab that back in, and then it's secure back on his body. Then you can put his head back on. Which definitely makes everything else kind of fall apart. Also, without his helmet piece on, like if he just didn't have the samurai helmet, he can look up very far and look down very far. But he needs this piece, so there we go. So yeah, that's all he comes with. I don't really think he needs anything else. I know that he came, like the original, it was like a second run of releasing these guys that they came with that like samurai sliding door piece, which I think is pretty cool. So if you have the old ones, you can definitely pose this guy and any of the other ones with the sliding door pieces, which is pretty cool. but he does not come with that. And he doesn't come with a stand either, so that's another thing. If you need a stand, you'll have to find one somewhere else. Then to hop into some size comparisons, here he is next to the Mafex Spider-Man and the CT Toys Miles Morales. He actually stands pretty comparable to these guys. He's a little bit taller. Also, one more thing to note is that taking off all these pieces, they're definitely just going to fly all over the place. I lost his little crest thing for a second, but found it. But yeah, in terms of size comparison, I think he'll fit right in with your Mafex figures. Then in terms of non-import figures, we have the NECA Toys movie Leonardo figure, and then the Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure. He is still pretty comparable. I mean, these turtles are huge, so there's a dude in a suit. But he is, you know, you could probably fudge it with Spider-Man if you want to. It'll definitely work, you know, in images, but other than that, I mean, he's still going to be a little bit shorter. That's just imports. And then finally, here he is standing next to us in Shinkocchou Seihou, Kamen Rider Amazon, and then Kamen Rider Ixa with his new movie form. I think they all look really good together. Again, Amazon is shorter than all of them. Ixa is a tiny bit taller. Just looking at like shoulder height, he's pretty tall. But yeah, I mean, I still think it looks really good. They'll look good on your shelf. I mean, the proportion wise, I love that they've done this with the Shinkocchou Seihou line. I hope they continue to do it for the Sentai line and not just do all Red Rangers. But yeah, I look forward to maybe even picking up the rest of the Gaim figures and doing some swaps. So for final thoughts, I mean, I really like this figure. I didn't think I was going to pick him up at all, but just looking at him now, I mean, I'm glad I picked him up. The proportions are great. I think he's a great improvement over the originals, even the reissues. I know they did the Heisei 20th generation reissues as well, but if you can just hold out and not buy any of those and get this guy, he's a general release. He's not anything Premium Bandai exclusive. I would say so. Looking forward to the rest of the line. I do have Banana Arms as well. And for some reason, this guy and Banana Arms have two different quality feels to them. Like Banana Arms feels like a lighter figure. This guy feels more premium. But either way, I mean, they're cool to have, and it's cool to swap pieces between the two. The only gripes I have with this guy are just the tiny pieces, but that's par for the course. I mean, they want to give you as much accessories as possible. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this guy in the comments below. Are you going to pick him up? Are you going to skip him? And what is your favorite Gaim rider? Thank you for taking a look at this review. Have a great day, and see you next time.